Hi guys, welcome back to my channel. Today I'm here to give you some information to stir the pot a little bit and give you a perspective that's not necessarily mainstream, so you can be encouraged to go out and do some research yourself and learn more about these topics in health and nutrition. So again, not here to convince you of anything. I'm just here to create a little bit of awareness about how I used intermittent fasting, OMAD, which is a form of intermittent fasting where you eat one meal a day, the ketogenic diet, and water fasting in order to lose weight over the course of the year. I'm currently down just over 40 pounds over the course of the year, so very healthy, very slow, very steady pace, and again, it's a whole lifestyle thing, so no crash diets. Basically, I'm gonna teach you how I lost weight in a healthy, sustainable, and steady way. Again, the key words here are healthy and sustainable. One good thing is that all these things are gonna save you money, because instead of going out and buying tons of organic food and spending money on this program or that program or this skinny tea or all those type of things, it's actually teaching you how to just not do something. So you're gonna lose weight by not doing something. What I mean by not doing something is that instead of eating 3 meals a day, you're not eating breakfast, or you're not eating breakfast and lunch. So you're gonna save tons of money, yay. Just a disclaimer is that I'm not a professional, I'm not certified in nutrition, I have no type of certification in any type of nutrition whatsoever, and I'm not telling you what to do, I'm just telling you what worked for me. I'm not convincing you to do something, I'm just encouraging you to go do some research the same as I did. So that being said, let's get into the video. A little bit of history about me is that my highest weight I've ever hit at a 5'6" frame is that I hit 225 pounds in 2016. That was my highest weight ever. I'm 5'6". I was 225 pounds. That is super not healthy. That is obese, and obese is not good. I highly recommend that you check your BMI out to see at which range you're at. For me, at 5'6" and 225 pounds, that put me in an obese category, which is not healthy at all. For my body at 5'6" inches height is that I need to be below 154 pounds in order to be in the healthy range. This being said, my highest weight was 225, and last year in May 2018, I started at 215 pounds, so I had already lost some weight here and there. I yo-yoed, I'll explain that later as well. But I started May 1st, 2018 at 215 pounds, and I am currently now, it is June 29th, 2018, so about a year later, I'm 173.9 pounds today. I'm probably gonna be under 170 in the next couple days due to the water fast that I'm doing now. And again, I'll talk about all this stuff in the video, so just keep watching if you're interested. On May 1st, 2018, after I bubbled back up to 215 pounds, that's when I realized that maybe everything that I've been taught, all the conventional ways of losing weight that I had taught that had been causing me to yo-yo for years, maybe that wasn't the solution. That's when I took the initiative to immerse myself and do as much research as I can about nutrition, health, what's out there, what information I'm missing, and how to really do it in a healthy and sustainable way to keep it off for the rest of my life and change my lifestyle. Within 2 months after doing my research, I actually dropped 15 pounds in the easiest way possible. You're not even gonna believe it. I started doing intermittent fasting, but the type of intermittent fasting I was doing is that I was doing 1 meal a day. So that means that all your calories that you eat during the day, as long as you eat it in a 1 hour window, you're gonna lose weight. And I'll explain why later. At this point, it was step 1. So I ate exactly the same foods that I was eating, but I just changed the pattern of eating. So instead of eating breakfast, lunch, and dinner, as I was taught my whole life and how I was conditioned to act, I was actually just doing 1 meal a day, which was dinner. And the reason I picked dinner is because dinner is the time that people have more of the social events. So either you come home and you want to eat with your family, or you want to go out with your friends and eat dinner. Usually all these social activities are around dinner. So that's why I picked dinner as my 1 meal a day, which means that I was doing the pattern of intermittent fasting where you fast for 23 hours and you eat for 1 hour. So in that 1 hour window, I was able to eat all my calories throughout the day. And this was just at the beginning of my diet, so I wasn't checking calories. I was actually just eating whatever I want, whether it was all you can eat sushi, Korean barbecue, I was going out to have a big burger and fries, whatever I wanted. In 2 months, I lost 15 pounds just by changing the pattern of eating without monitoring anything else. So that was step 1. OMAD, and eating whatever I wanted. Then in August, I decided to be a little bit more conscious of the things that I was eating in order to accelerate my weight loss and take it to the next level. Step 2 is that I was still doing OMAD, but I started counting calories. So I started kind of tracking, okay, my basal metabolic rate is this, minus 500 in a caloric deficit is that I need to eat this amount. So then I was eating that specific amount of calories in my one meal. So instead of eating whatever I want, I was kind of monitoring a little bit more and eating that amount of calories in that window. And then I started losing more weight. Another thing that I did is that I decided to kind of start reducing my carbs. So I was eating a low carb diet. I was kind of winging it. I was just eating less carbs. I kind of cut out the breads and the pastas and the rice and those type of things. Slowly started to cut those out of my diet. And I was losing even more weight, so it was going faster. I even went on a trip to Cambodia and Vietnam, and I kept the OMAD lifestyle there. I was eating one meal a day in Cambodia and Vietnam. My friend wasn't happy about it because I didn't eat lunch with her all the time. I would go to lunch, but I wouldn't eat with her. But I was still doing OMAD, and I actually didn't gain any weight in my 3-week trip, which usually you gain a ton of weight when you go on trips, but I didn't gain anything. So that's when I started realizing, whoa, this OMAD thing really works. It's just a pattern of eating, and as long as you do it, you're not gonna gain weight. It's because it's very hard to overeat when you're doing one meal a day. Typically, let's say if you're doing 500 calories at breakfast, 600 calories at lunch, and then 2,000 calories at dinner. If you go out for dinner with your friends, then you're way over the caloric intake that you're supposed to be eating on a daily basis, right? But by eating one meal a day, it's very hard to overeat because it's very hard to eat 3,000 calories in one sitting. Usually people are eating between like 1,500 to 2,000 something in one sitting depending on your body. Now on November 1st, when I came back from my trip, I decided that I'm very comfortable with everything I'm doing. I eased into it very slowly, and I decided that I'm gonna take it to the next level. So I continued doing my OMAD one meal a day, and then I decided the next level would be to be keto. Now, before you say anything, I used to be so anti-keto. I thought it was such a fad. I thought people were just doing this crazy diet thing and it was just crazy. But I actually was so against keto because it just annoyed me when people would talk about it. But then I was low carb anyway at this point. And then I said, okay, you know what? I'm already low carb. Let me just try it for a week. The intention was just to try it for a week. So I did OMAD. I continued my OMAD and I decided to start keto for a week. Now, here's a turning point in my life. I would say maybe this is the aha moment that a lot of people have. I have always been severely addicted to sugar. I can go to the convenience store and grab cookies and ice cream and chocolates and go home and scarf them all down without even giving it a second thought. I was severely addicted to sugar. The more you eat sugar, the more you get addicted to sugar. Now, keto actually forces you to quit sugar because there's no sugar in keto and you're limiting your carbs. So typically people who are on keto, it's a high-fat, high-protein diet with as little carbs as you can. So a lot of people are doing under 50 grams of net carbs. Some people are doing under 30 grams of net carbs. Personally, I wanted to take it to the next level, so I was doing usually under 20 grams of net carbs, and some weeks I would actually eat hot pot for an entire week, and I would have lamb rolls and beef rolls and things like this, so I would actually keep my net carbs under 10 grams for the whole week. So that was super cool. I mean, 10 grams a day for the whole week. So that was super cool. Now, let me tell you, the first week that you do keto, you will have the keto flu. It's very, very likely that you develop some flu-like symptoms. So if anybody tells you otherwise, you will. And it's not easy, but you get into it, and once you're in it, it's good. And the second thing is, yes, you're quitting sugar for the first time in probably your life. So what happens is that you will have sugar withdrawals. You will have headaches and things like that because it's going to be the first time that you've probably quit sugar in your life. So keep in mind that you will have headaches, you will have some flu-like symptoms, super normal, but when you're on the other side and you realize, oh my God, my addiction to sugar is gone, you're gonna feel so much better. I was at a point in my life where I thought that the idea of giving up sugar for my entire life was the most dreadful thing that I could ever think of. How crazy is that? I was so addicted to sugar that I couldn't see my life without sugar, and I actually just didn't think it was sustainable. I thought there's no way I'm never gonna eat sugar again. There's no way. And I've been doing keto for 6 months now, and I haven't eaten sugar in 6 months. Yes, I've made keto alternatives to desserts. I've made like keto cookies, I've made a keto cheesecake, and there's different ways to substitute the things that you love. They even have keto bagels. So if you're obsessed with bagels, you can eat keto bagels with like 1 gram of net carbs. They have those things out there. And if you love sugar and you love sweet things so much, you can actually buy this thing called monk fruit and erythritol. It's a blend of sweetener, and you can use those in these keto desserts that you make. So you're not gonna quit sweets for the rest of your life, but you just have to take the recipes that you like and make them keto. And then you can live a sustainable, healthy life and eat the sweets and fill in your cravings and things like that. But you don't actually need sugar ever for the rest of your life. Maybe you don't believe me, but it's been 6 months and I haven't had sugar, and I've been addicted to sugar for 26 years. So there you go. Ta-da! That was a turning point for me, the first time I've ever quit sugar in my life, and I've never felt better. The thing about sugar is the more you eat it, like I said, there's some science behind it. I'll post a video about sugar below so you can actually do some research about it as well. One thing about sugar that you need to know that I didn't know before is that when you eat too much sugar, it actually blocks the hormone in your body that gives you that feeling of, oh, okay, I'm full, I should stop eating. I've never really experienced that. I would go to a table and everybody would be, oh, I'm so full, I ate so much. And I would be like, oh yeah, I'm full too, ha ha ha. But I was never full because I ate too much sugar. And now I know that I actually get full at a normal period, not when I gorge myself up till here. I actually get full like normal people. Yeah, so keto's awesome. You typically hear about a lot of people, they start keto and they're just like gorging themselves with bacon and things like that. Be careful with the bacon. Yes, bacon is good, fat is good, cheese is good, all these things are good. But obviously you don't want to eat too much of anything. So bacon is very processed. So definitely try to mix it up and eat some different types of meat. Don't just eat bacon for the rest of your life. Bacon has a lot of sodium and things like that, even though you buy the low sodium one. But anyway, this is just some opinions, but don't worry about me. Like I said, just go do some research. This video is just to spark your interest so you can go do some research for yourself. Now, in November, I also decided to do the Insanity Max 30 program, which was a 60-day program by Beachbody where you do 30 minutes of high interval training for 30 minutes a day. Very challenging, 8 full weeks. You print the calendar, you cross that off every day. I felt so good afterwards. I dropped tons of body fat just doing that program. And then I followed up with the second program called Body Beast by Beachbody, where it was a 3-month program for weightlifting and bodybuilding and things like that. So I actually did that in the basement. Both programs you could do in the comfort of your own home. Body Beast, sometimes I would go to the gym and do it, and sometimes I would do it in the basement depending on my mood and if I wanted to go out to the gym or not. Definitely challenging, but it works really well, keeps you on plan. You have the calendar, you know exactly what you're gonna do every day. You just have to push play. I'll put the links for those 2 programs below if you're interested. They're awesome. I started getting so fascinated with this intermittent fasting stuff that I immersed myself into the studies about fasting and watched a lot of doctors on YouTube like Dr. Fung, Dr. Berg, things like that. And that's when I decided to start taking my fasting to the next level. So that's step 4 when I was doing keto, OMAD, and throwing in a couple extended fasts of 48 hours or 72 hours. So this is 2 or 3 day fast. So I started kind of easing myself into fasting because I was very curious about it. The science that these doctors will explain to you about OMAD is going to go against any type of misconceptions that you've had your entire life, because you're going to think, oh my God, I can't do OMAD. I'm going to be in starvation mode. What, are you crazy? But actually, it's the opposite. When you do your fasting, you're actually allowing your body to engage in this process called autophagy, where essentially your body's actually eating itself. Your body is metabolizing the fat in your body. So if you're overweight, you're gonna take care of a lot of that fat, because while you're fasting, your body is still eating the fat. So it's the ultimate level of fat burning. Again, I'm not a scientist, so you're gonna have to go do this research yourself and Google autophagy and everything like that. But if you look at the research about it, it's so good for you. It's the complete opposite of starvation mode. You're actually putting your body in fat burning mode. We are so used to seeing these Biggest Loser type of people doing their 1,200 calorie diets and working out for hours and hours a day. That actually puts you in starvation mode, because that is allowing your body to get lazy and be like, oh my God, this is great. So you're gonna do the workouts for a couple hours a day, burn tons of calories, and you're only gonna eat 1,200 calories. So me, as your body, I could just chill here and I'm gonna drop my BMR and burn less calories at rest because you're doing all the work manually for me. So your body actually gets very, very lazy. And this is why people, when they stop working out 6 hours a day, which is not sustainable anyway, and when they don't eat a 1,200 calorie diet, which is not sustainable in the long term anyway, that's when they start to gain weight. And that's why you see the yo-yo diets. On the flip side, with OMAD, your body, when you're fasting, actually gives you a surge of energy. So all of a sudden, you have so much more energy. Why is that? Because hunter-gatherers, they used to need the energy to go hunting. So you don't see hunter-gatherers that are so weak and tired from fasting that they're just passing out on the floor and sleeping and they can't hunt for food. They would die immediately. It's basic survival skills. So your body actually gives you more energy and increases your BMR to allow you to go hunt for food. That's where the basic science comes from. Again, if you search Dr. Berg on YouTube, he has tons of videos about this. So again, I encourage you to go do your research. Now, fast forward to today. Now I'm at step 5. So right now I'm on day 7 of my extended water fast, which means that I haven't eaten any food whatsoever. I only drank water for 7 days so far. Initially, the whole goal was that I wanted to start and try a 5-day fast, but I realized that after day 2 and 3, my hunger's been totally abolished. So all of a sudden, when I thought I was gonna be so starving and things like this, I'm actually not hungry at all. Day 2 and 3 are much harder than day 7. I haven't eaten and I'm not hungry at all. My energy levels are at an all-time high. I feel so perky. I feel like I have so much mental clarity. I'm trying to talk about these topics with people. I'm sharing all my knowledge with people because I'm just so excited. And I feel like for once in my life, I just had the click. And I'm just in such a great mood and my energy's high. I'm happy. It's just fantastic. And people keep asking me, oh my God, you haven't eaten in 7 days. How are you functioning right now? But do I look tired? I mean, maybe you're going to say yes, but you suck. But I don't look tired, hopefully. Or anyway, I don't feel tired. So yeah, that's step 5. So step 5 is that I'm continuing OMAD, I'm continuing keto, but right now I've decided to throw in an extended fast. So I'm currently doing a 7-day water fast. I'm gonna make a whole other video of that because people are gonna think that's a totally radical opinion. Again, people have this misconception that if you don't eat for 7 days, you're gonna die. The same way that they think like, oh my God, if I skip lunch, I'm gonna die, which is completely inaccurate. And I encourage you again, do your research before you form opinions, and then I will be happy. I'm kind of getting to the end of the video. I have a little bit of food for thought for you. First of all, have you ever asked yourself, why do humans eat 3 meals a day? Why do we do this? When did this happen? Because hunter-gatherers used to feast and fast. They used to feast and then fast for a period of time until they went hunting again. So why all of a sudden, when we have so much availability to food, why do we eat 3 meals a day? Why do we think that's healthy? We're conditioned to think that, but why? Have you ever asked yourself that question? Because when people say, oh, I'm only eating 2 meals a day or I'm only eating 1 meal a day, you're going to say, oh my God, you're crazy. That's not what you're supposed to do. But who decided that we eat 3 meals a day? Do some research. That's my motto, do some research. Another thing is a little bit of propaganda. If you didn't know this, a lot of these big food corporations pump money into the pockets of scientists so they can actually change the outcome of the study. So let's say in 1950s, if I'm a big corporation that has a lot of sugar, I paid my inside scientists to change the outcome of the results. And then instead of putting the blame on sugar that causes obesity, I actually got them to flip it and blame fat. So that's why in the 1950s, we started, I think it was 1950s, that's when the whole low-fat craze started. The low-fat yogurts, low-fat cookies, low-fat desserts, low-fat whatever you want. So think about that. All the research that we're being fed and all the scientists that put out these research is not necessarily true because the big guys at the top, they're investing a lot of money to put in the pockets of scientists. And if you're a scientist, you might say, hey, you know what? I'll take a couple $1 million and change the outcome of, I don't care. I know the truth. I'm going to be healthy, so it doesn't matter what they do. And I'm going to get tons of money and retire. So think about that for a second before you trust every single thing that you read online. Do some research. Do some research. A little bit more food for thought. Think about this. If everybody was keto and everybody was healthy and nobody had any weight problems and nobody ate carbs, then who's gonna be making money in the world? The big corporations like Kellogg's, Kraft, Nestle, PepsiCo, Coca-Cola, all these guys, they're all full of sugar, they're all full of carbs. You thought I was gonna say full of shit, haha. They're all full of sugar, and basically you have to tell yourself, okay, so they want us to eat more carbs, they want us to eat more sugar. Why would they encourage keto? Why would they tell us sugar is bad? Why would they give us this information? Then we're not gonna go spend all our money on these types of snacks. Second of all, if we're not fat, then what about the health and fitness industry? If none of us are fat and we're all healthy, then who's spending money on all these programs for weight loss and fitness and gyms and all these things? Who's spending money on that if everybody's skinny? So that's one thing. Then number 3, if we're not all sick going to the doctor because we're obese and we're having health problems, then who's gonna spend money on pharmaceuticals? What are the doctors gonna prescribe to us? The big pharma corporations, they're gonna stop making money too. So at the end of the day, if you think about the big guys at the top 10%, the big guys at the top of the food chain, who actually cares about us? They care about their bottom line. They care about making money. It's a business. It's true. Of course they care about making money. So they don't want to tell us the truth. So of course they're going to tell us, yeah, eat carbs, eat sugar, be fat, go to the doctor, get prescribed your medications, do all those things because I want to make money when you eat our carbs, and I want to make money when you buy our weight loss programs, and I want to make money when you get sick and you go buy a bunch of pharmaceuticals. Yeah. Do some research. Here's an interesting example actually from Dr. Fung. He's actually a doctor and he treats a lot of patients with type 2 diabetes. Now, type 2 diabetes is insulin resistance. So it means you have too much insulin. And then you go to the doctor because you have type 2 diabetes, and then what does your doctor do? You have too much insulin, and then your doctor goes, okay, I'm gonna prescribe you more insulin. How does that make sense? I have too much insulin. Why are you giving me more insulin? Does that make sense? And what Dr. Fung says is that, yeah, you're treating the symptom, which is the blood sugar. You're not treating the actual disease, which is insulin resistance, which is the diabetes. This is actually, if you think about how crazy this is, Dr. Fung says this, it's the same analogy as if someone suffers with alcoholism, if they start getting the shakes when they're quitting alcohol, and then you give them more alcohol, yeah, it's gonna stop their shakes, but it's gonna make the alcoholism way worse. So giving insulin to a type 2 diabetic person with insulin resistance is actually the same as giving an alcoholic more alcohol, just to stop the shake. Yeah, the diabetic people with type 2 diabetes, they're gonna feel better because their blood sugar is gonna be stabilized with the insulin, but that's making the diabetes worse. And then if you think about that, that's why over the course of the years, these people with type 2 diabetes are prescribed more and more and more and more insulin. And the reason is they never actually help treat the disease. People think that it's a disease that you're stuck with for the rest of your life. But according to Dr. Fung and according to Dr. Berg, actually diabetes is reversible if you do a lot of fasting and things like this. So go do your research. Because you're taking more insulin over the course of the years forever. And you're going to feel like, oh, I feel good. I don't feel any different, because your blood sugar stabilized. But then if you think about it, if you need more and more and more and more insulin to treat the same diabetes, that actually means that your diabetes is getting worse. That's why you need more insulin every year. Food for thought. Go do your research. The thing that I really, really wish that you do is that don't listen to all the mainstream knowledge that's out there. Not necessarily everything that's being fed to us is accurate. So you need to look at both sides and do your research. Please, please, please. Do not listen to everything you're fed. Do some research. Do some research. I'm gonna wrap up this video now since it's been very long. I just wanted to get all that information out there, get your brain thinking so you can start, doing some research. If you're interested, some topics that you can search up are intermittent fasting, OMAD, which is 1 meal a day, ketogenic diet, water fasting, quitting sugar, things like that. And some videos that I'm gonna start making, if you wanna subscribe to the channel, are I'm gonna maybe start doing some videos to break down the OMAD, intermittent fasting, keto, water fasting. I'm gonna put a diary of my first 10-day fasting experience because I'm on day 7 now, like I said. And who knows, maybe I'll start throwing in some workout stuff. I'm currently not working out because I'm on my extended fast. and I've been doing so much yard work, like lifting bricks and things like that, so I'm not doing any exercise at the gym or anything lately. I'm just gonna do a little recap of my whole journey so far and the 5 steps that I underwent in order to get to the level that I am right now. So again, step 1 is that I did the 1 meal a day intermittent fasting, and I ate whatever I wanted in that 1 hour time frame. Step 2 is that I did OMAD. I started caring about my calories and reducing my calories, and I started doing low carb. Then step 3, I started doing OMAD, and then I started taking on the ketogenic diet. Step 4 is that I did OMAD, my 1 meal a day. Then I did keto, and then I started trying these 2 or 3 day extended fasts. And step 5 is the OMAD, keto, and throwing in a couple extended water fasts like my current 10-day water fast. So if you're interested in all these topics and you wanna know, I'm currently down from 225 highest ever weight, and I'm 173.9 right now. So if you wanna keep following my journey, I'm gonna try to get down at least to 140. But my first goal is to get under 154, which is a healthy weight for my body. So if you're interested in following my journey, or you wanna hear more about what I'm doing, or you wanna just be enlightened about certain things, then feel free to subscribe. I appreciate it, and keep going, you got this. If you're on your journey, if this made you click, I'm so happy. Keep going, you got this. High five. Do some research. Okay, bye.